And we're back. This is Gentlemen No Class with our second part of our paranormal alien investigation podcast. Really, it's just us drinking a lot of beer, making fun of each other, and attempting, let's just say, vocal harmonization of the delicate balance kind.
This podcast contains explicit language and is intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions of Gentlemen No Class are strictly for comedic purposes and should not be taken literally. For instance, like this disclaimer. Now grab yourself a pint and enjoy.
Let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this podcast.
I was just about
because
to say that.
this is
This is going to be a part 2.
I am telling you, this is going to to be a part 2 because I don't want
potatoes.
I don't want to cut this short, and I feel like we should do.
We don't
this.
need to. Just
we
put
may
it all
not
together.
may not get all of this in one podcast, but this is something that we Jacob and I, well, not just Jacob and I, us as a group have discussed about. You know, sticking to one of the things we picked up at Comic Palooza was to have a theme that we're going to stick to as a podcast. That's our definition. And we've, you know, since the beginning, we have said we are Gentlemen No Class when we discuss pop culture and paranormal. So, that being said, this is our reboot first paranormal episode.
We talked about paranormal.
I said reboot.
Oh, reboot.
Oh, okay.
I said fucking reboot.
Yeah. And you can go to gentlemennoclass.com.
Because we haven't talked about it in a minute.
And
it's been a while.
Yeah.
And you can look at that little I guess story about abductee couple that happened back in the 60s.
I listened to that. I read the article on it and stuff like that. It's very interesting shit. I am not as well versed in you know, alien abductions and alien stuff like that. I've read a bunch of articles, but I'm not super well versed in it.
Yeah.
We had a guest lined up for tonight, but extenuating circumstances kind of put that on the back burner. Maybe we'll get him on again in the future sometime. Our friend Randy is super super knowledgeable when it comes to like aliens and conspiracy theory and stuff like that. He was writing a book at one point, and I don't know how far he got into it, but I'd be curious to see just how far he got into it. But
nice,
he, I think I'm going to let y'all kind of spearhead this segment. Jake had a lot of stuff, and Paul had a lot of ideas that he threw out. What I was curious about, well, I'm going to get the ball rolling on this, and we can kind of start there. I want to hear about your trip to Area 51.
Oh,
Take
there
a
it is.
little trip.
So, I forgot how many years it was. It was like
I checked.
What year was?
I checked. Yeah.
This is the picture that we posted up
2011
on the Facebook.
Oh,
page.
yes,
I
yes.
saw the receipt of my hotel recently on one of my old emails.
Oh, yeah?
Like 2 days ago. Yeah.
Hey, you might bear me as well, sir. What year was it? Was this
2011?
I was like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to actually Megan, my wife. We go to, I think we went to Las Vegas. And Paul met us at Las Vegas. And, you know, we had a grand old time in Vegas. And, you know, Vegas is not that far from Rachel, Nevada. And Rachel, Nevada is where the famous alien motel's at. The little, I guess, bar and grill, I guess you could say. It was fun,
the
man.
fuck is so funny? The man's pouring his heart on, you're fucking giggling and hoo-hee-hawing over here.
Sorry. I'm in a rental. We're staying at, I don't know, Megan and I are staying at the Mirage, I believe, and Paul's staying at New York.
Yeah.
So we scoop up, we scoop him up in the
New
rental.
York.
I'm in a Nissan Altima, okay?
Altima.
And that's a very
Great
important car to talk about.
Is it?
And it's a venture that we're going to, because there's going to be some rough terrain that we're going in the Nissan Altima here. So we end up going to the alien. Well, before we get to the alien, we go to Extraterrestrial Highway. What highway is that, Paul?
I forgot.
Well, there's a big sign that says Extraterrestrial Highway. And what's crazy is that we took a picture of it and wish we had the Gentlemen No Class pick stickers that time.
Could have littered with it.
That'd have been real.
Posted all over. Because there's a whole bunch of stickers on there.
Yeah.
But what's crazy, by that sign, there's like a, I want to say like one of those, parks on the side where you can just park and rest areas.
Yeah.
But there was quite a few cars there.
Supposedly that's where Area 51 employees.
I was trying to get to that before you interrupted me.
Nevada State
Route.
Well,
you sound like you never done it to me.
Yes, sir. How dare you
what you guys get to do is cool, but when I get to fucking do it, it's in the fucking world.
So this rest area had quite a few cars there, and they exactly what Paul said. Apparently, there's a shuttle to Area 51 from that location. Well, there's multiple rest areas, and that's one of the locations, pretty much. So we get to...
Can I interject real quick?
Yes, sir.
Is Area 51 a confirmed military base by the U.S. government?
I think it is now.
Yes. Now it is. Now it is, yeah.
They have said, yes, there is a base that exists there. Mm-hmm. An active base.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we were there, it was dead quiet, and we heard fucking sonic booms happening. So it's an active Air Force base. Right?
Okay.
So we get to the alien...
No side conversations. We're not doing that bullshit.
But what's cool is like next time, I think we should all, if our families allow us to take a trip to Vegas. Which I think going to Vegas is more acceptable than saying that we're going to Area 51. So if we can all meet up at Vegas somehow for a weekend, that's all you need is a weekend. We can drive to Area 51. So we get to the alien. What's crazy about the alien? There's a lot of celebrities that go there. I mean, that's where they filmed a segment from the movie Paul. That's the actual. I guess what was a restaurant.
Yeah, that's actually
the
the
Urethra
restaurant.
Chronicles Part 2.
Did they talk about it?
Well, Tom is like camped out there in lawn chairs. He's
yes,
like,
I remember that.
To see some aliens.
Hoping to see some
tonight.
fucking aliens, man. Fucking Tom is.
We can get to that
later.
later.
We'll get to that later.
That could be a whole show.
Okay. But no, so we get to the alien, and there's a lot of celebrities' pictures on the wall that was actually taken at the alien, and Paul and I took a few photographs. It's a very cool place to be at. I don't think I would ever sleep there, which I think if we ever go there, we should probably sleep there. But
that'd be fun.
It's so quiet. We heard a couple sonic booms. There were tests flying some shit, right? We go down the highway and we go to where the black mailbox is at. And Paul, you want to take it from there? Where the black? What is the black mailbox?
Black mailbox is now a white mailbox.
It's now a white mailbox, yes, sir.
Yeah,
but apparently that's where they got the correspondence, right?
Maybe. Supposedly that's what they said. It was their mail. Yeah. It was Area 51's mailbox. Exactly. Seriously, that's what it was pawned off as. It's supposed to be. That's just Area 51's mailbox. It's a shitty mailbox for a secret military
That's where they get
base.
like their electrical bill from Centerpoint and shit like that.
Centerpoint owns it. Yeah.
Final notice, you're late on your bill.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the U.S. government doesn't pay Centerpoint for that.
So,
well, I think we're getting what's it called? We went back on the highway when we went to that. I think there's other entrances, but the one we went to is the one with the black mailbox.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's just a dirt road. You can see off the horizon, like it's supposed to be like because we got these directions off like I don't know. I'm thinking about my hobo. One of the first time I went years ago when I was 21 versus this is my second time actually going to this fucking near Area 51. So as soon as you go down the dirt road and you hit the fucking those mountains you see from a distance. What?
I would suggest though, you should not go midday. If you're going to go to Area 51, take pictures, whatever you got to do, which is not allowed, they say, but go early in the morning. The reason why is what Paul's about to say. So it's a 20-minute down this dirt gravel road. Okay, it's 20 minutes to get to where you need to get to. We go down this dirt gravel road,
and
we get to
finish this fucking story.
I was just trying to interject, but he wasn't trying to. He didn't continue talking. Go ahead.
Okay. As he was goddamn saying, and I'm picking up from him. Yeah, we reach those fucking mountains. As soon as you reach those mountains, you start seeing fucking signs. You see like 3 or 4 signs saying "Do not cross this line." Blah blah blah. Government. Property, photographic, photography, whatever. All these, fines and just threats, and pretty much like if you cross the line, I'll fucking shoot you. And the the first time I went, I remember seeing a Jeep off in the fucking distance, but the time we went, there was nobody around, and we just turned back around, and halfway from that, going back to the main highway, I think, did we see somebody coming after us, or is that when?
No,
that was when I went.
No,
I'm sorry.
When you went, you told me the story that you were being chased out of the pretty much area.
Well, then eventually, when it's like I said, when we hit the midway point, he got a fucking flat.
No, asshole.
What?
This is why I wanted to talk the story.
What the fuck did I miss?
No. So we get to the fucking sign and where it says, "Do not use photography. If you pass this line, we'll use deadly force," and this and that. But we got out the car. We took pictures of the sign with the sign. At the top of the hill, there was a truck, an unmarked truck, just kind of just checking us out. Like, what the fuck are we going to do, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, they're the security of Area 51. So we're like, okay, we're not going to cross this line. Yeah. We get back in the car. It's already like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're driving back down this 20-minute gravel road. That's when we get the fucking flat. We're halfway point. And the sun's going down. We have no bars on our cell phone. We're getting fucked. It's quiet. You cannot get any reception. I have a flat tire. I don't have I did have a spare.
Yeah. Luckily we did, yeah.
So Paul and I get out of the fucking car. Megan's kind of freaking out. But actually, no, I think Megan was kind of cool. Like,
I don't remember her panicking at all. If anything, we were.
Yeah, I think we're fucking like oh shit, I'm about to,
well, plus, to get killed here. I was drunk too, so.
Oh, we did have a bottle of liquor with us.
That's a smart idea. And if I ever go to Area 51, I'm going to be fucking hammered so that everything
right.
So that if I do see aliens, I'm completely 100% credible.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we changed the tire. Continue. Eventually, we reached like the next. It wasn't like a town. Like just another gas
you're
station.
Skipping a whole bunch of shit.
Why? What else? What else needs to be talked about?
Okay, we're in the middle of changing the fucking tire. What happened when we were changing the fucking tire? A fucking vehicle came up to us. Do you remember the fucking unmarked vehicle that was seeing us over the hill?
I thought that happened because that happened to us too.
No. Well, okay, you told me that you were being chased out and then you finally vanished. But when we're changing the tire, that same vehicle that was looking on the hill,
you're kind of scaring me. Can you not look at me that way?
No, I'm sorry. No, but I think you were there. It's like you were there.
We are, man.
So,
why don't you remember this?
So we're changing the tire, and then like that vehicle stops 50 feet from us. It just stares at us like, what the fuck are we doing there? And he sees us.
It's dark.
It's not dark.
No.
It's dusk. It's going down.
Okay.
And we're changing the tire.
Like a white F-150?
I think it is. It's something close to that. And I was like, man, I hope he phones in like a fucking AAA or something. But no, he was like, he sees us changing the fucking tire. He waits there for like 20 minutes and then he reverses and leaves because he knows that we're fucked. He knows that we're changing the tire. That's pretty much it. Like, we're not posing any threat. So when we change the tire, we go down the main highway, and then we find a fucking Shell station. I pull into the Shell station. I tell him, listen, man, I need to borrow your phone. I need to call my rental company to see what we got to do to change this tire, get a new tire. I get his phone. I'm dialing out. He's like, hold on. Are you calling California? I'm like, yeah. Like, that's fucking long distance, man. Then you hang up. I fucking hung up. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm in Nevada. Motherfuckers not gonna let me call long distance. I had to buy a fucking prepaid phone card, and I went out to the back on the pay phone with this prepaid card, dialed it in, and I had to call my insurance company. Oh, not the insurance, the rental car company, and they told me just go to the quickest fix a flat place, and we'll reimburse you and this and that. Thank God there was a guy that was there fixing flats outside the Shell station, so we got it fixed and drove back home, and he charged me like $5, but I think I billed the fucking place like $20-something for the day.
Nice, Jake.
Fucking no class thing for me to do.
Yeah, it is the no class. Toast to that. I'll toast to that. Hell yeah.
So this is our that's a great segue into our aliens and paranormal. Anybody who the post that we put up there about the couple, the interracial couple that was abducted. I don't know if that's
Barney and Betty Hill.
I don't know if it's important that they're interracial, but it's worth mentioning at least.
It's the first abductee story, and that's kind of everything caught like wildfire ever since that. That was the first abduction.
So, I didn't have a chance. To be honest with you, I've been really busy this week. I've had a bunch of recording sessions here in the studio. I have not had a chance to do as much research as any.
That's very proud of yourself.
Okay.
Not like you have to build a podcast table or anything.
Yeah, how's that coming?
Anyway,
metal
I'll see.
so we have a group text message that I'm sure everybody's aware of that we talk about show ideas and stuff like that because I've posted a couple of screenshots from that. But there's a couple of things that caught my eye that I'm super curious about, and maybe somebody can fill me in on it. One of the things I was really curious about was the Aurora, Texas
cigar
unmarked alien tomb.
Yes.
Can we start? Let's start with that.
That happened back in 1897.
good old days.
Good old days with their fucking horse and wagon.
Oh yeah, baby.
I forgot what month it was, but they saw a cigar-shaped like object in the sky that was shooting down, and it crashed. Up until recently, I think they started competing with Roswell. How Roswell, New Mexico was like, oh, this is the first alien crash landing, this and that. Well, Aurora is starting to have like some sort of event happening on the day of the crash landing.
And this was 1897.
1897.
Let's remind everybody, Roswell was 1940, 51?
No, I think it was
49.
I think it was
46.
40 something. Now it was in the late 40s, I think. Fact check that. It was in the 40s.
45 or 46.
Yeah, it was in the 40s. But so
July,
I mean, honestly, I read the story in Jim Marr's book Alien Agenda, and I'm in and out of it now, but I do know that they went to the crash site. There was this one couple that said, like, I got to go to this crash site, see what happened, because there's fire in the mountains, and they saw it from shooting from the sky. 1897, what are you thinking? You don't know if there's comets out there, right? So that's the only thing I could think that what it would have been. I don't know, right? Yeah. So this guy was like, you know what? I'll be back in a couple of days. I'm going to go check. I'm on horseback. I'm going to go check over there and see what it is. They found a ship. It was an alien. They bring this alien body back to Aurora, and they bury it. There's a picture.
Time out. The Roswell UFO incident was mid-1947.
47, that's right. 1947. Yeah. So they bring the alien body back, and they bury it, and then they put it in an unmarked tomb. There's a picture in Jim Marr's Alien Agenda of the tomb that's kind of being held together, but like the headstone where a ballpoint pen's at, and that's where the tomb's at. It's competing with Roswell, New Mexico's alien crash landing, and it's just really in our backyard in Aurora, Texas. So
didn't it describe the ship too?
It was a cigar-shaped
cigar.
Cigar.
Yes, I knew it.
Yeah,
I only brought that up because
cigar-shaped
okay, I don't care that much, but I only brought that up because I wanted to say cigar.
Yeah.
Cigar.
So one of the things that I've wanted to talk about on the podcast for a long time is, as far as aliens go, we talk about alien interactions and things like that. Is something that in the paranormal alien world, with UFOs. What do they call it? Cryptozoologists when they talk about unknown alien,
fucking chupacabra.
UFO.
Yeah. So one of the things that people bring up is the Fermi paradox, and
Inferni. Say it again.
The Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox is named after Enrico Fermi, an Italian. I don't know what his qualifications are, but basically, the Fermi paradox states this: if the universe is as vast and infinite as we take it as it is, if you believe the black science man Neil deGrasse Tyson, if the universe is as vast and expansive as it is,
he's not a real scientist, right?
Yes, he is.
Is he?
Yeah, Bill Nye is not.
Is that what I'm thinking
yes.
of? Somebody was saying that the other day.
No. Bill Nye is like, he has like...
I know about Bill Nye, yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson studied with Carl Sagan. Like, he is the most qualified person
Yeah,
to
somebody
talk
was
about
saying that. I think I heard that somewhere. Sorry.
Anyway, so
I'm Bill Nye,
basically, and this is right up your alley. Enrico Fermi is Italian, so this is right up your halfway up your alley.
Okay.
So anyway,
go ahead.
Basically, it states this: if there is as many in a universe as infinite as ours is, with as many the probability that alien life exists, like let's just accept the fact that in a universe this vast, there's got to be the percentage chance that there is not alien existence is extremely low.
Exactly, yeah.
So the fact that there is, let's just say, the Fermi paradox states there is alien life out there somewhere. And being that there is alien life out there somewhere, as vast as the universe is, and as much as technology and things can draw towards each other, the statistical probability that an alien race could possibly have made a way to travel vast distances across the universe or galaxy or whatever, the odds are more in their favor than not. Why haven't they contacted us yet? So that's the paradox. So a paradox is the definition of a paradox is something that should have happened or doesn't happen, but hold on,
You're getting there close, baby.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my words together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I got you, man.
But
paradox is like it's almost kind of like not really a contradiction, but it
is a contradiction. That's a great word. It's a self-contradictory statement.
Okay, self-contradictory.
A paradox is a self-contradictory statement.
Yeah,
or a proposition that when investigated or explained would prove to be well-founded or true.
Yeah.
So, like, example, in a paradox, he has discovered that stepping back from his job has increased the rewards he leaves for. I'm reading off the internet, by the way.
I do need an example of a paradox.
A paradox would be like Schrodinger's cat is a paradox. Do you know what Schrodinger's cat is?
No.
Okay, so Schrodinger's cat is a prime example. It's a theoretical from a theoretical physicist's name. I think his name is Arthur Schrodinger. I don't know.
I've never heard of
it. So basically, it states that if you have a box, imagine a theoretical box, and you put a cat in the box. Okay, and you put the cat, and the box exists in a room where you can have zero interaction with the box. Let's call it a vacuum spaced room. And the cat inside of the box has food, oxygen, air, whatever it needs to survive. There's a mechanism in the box that if you open the box, it will release a poisonous gas and instantly kill the cat. Okay. But if the box is closed, you can assume that mechanism has not gone off.
And the cat is alive.
So, that being said, how do you prove that the cat is alive?
That is
a paradox because in theoretical physics, that cat exists as both alive and dead at the same time.
Because
that is a paradox because that cannot happen. It's a self-contradictory statement. You know what I mean?
That sounds like Kelvin's toxin puzzle or something. I don't know, something like that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, that is almost in the current laws of physics. That is
confusing as fuck.
Yeah. We're getting into like some really super confusing stuff.
Yeah, we'll dive off on that. But Jacob,
hold on.
You took a piss and you did not announce it. I'm going to take a piss like that.
What we were talking about.
So the Fermi paradox. I happen to pull it up.
There be cigarettes.
It is. So basically, in as many stars as are in our galaxy, there should be a reason. What is the reason that we have not been contacted by aliens? What is there's a lot of
we're too dumb for them.
That's one of the things
that happened to my headphones.
Yeah,
mine too.
What the fuck?
Paul probably unplugged something.
Fuck that. You guys fucked something too hard, not
there
me.
There it goes. Is it back?
No, not back. Paul, we fucking shit up.
Just fucking.
Nah, who cares?
It's fine.
No, but maybe we're too dumb for him.
Well, no. You know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking, Brad?
Basically, it's like, where is everybody?
Let's give it the benefit of the doubt that aliens are way advanced in technology, right?
Okay.
They may not be, though.
Yeah, exactly. They may not be. I mean, who's to say, like, we try to reach out to them.
They gotta be. If they reach out to us, they gotta be somewhat advanced.
Well, they
reached out to us. Okay, maybe, but we only have proof like 2 times. Rosalind?
There's zero proof.
No proof.
Rosalind,
Roswell,
Rosalind.
All right, Roswell. I mean, okay, we have like 2 spaceships in our hands.
The paradox exists between the lack of evidence and high probability estimates for the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations. Okay, this was made by physicist Enrico Fermi. He's an Italian physicist.
Okay.
And so here's the points of it. There are billions of stars in the galaxy that are similar to the sun. Many of these are billions of years older than the solar system. Billions with a B.
Yeah.
With high probability, some of these stars have Earth-like planets. And if the Earth is typical, like if we're a very typical and not an atypical planet, then some may have developed intelligent life.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. If some of these civilizations may have developed interstellar travel, a step the Earth is investigating right now. Right. Okay. So there's a high probability that there are other intelligent species out there.
Yes.
And that they have invented.
There has to be.
That are billions of years older than us.
Yeah.
So I mean, think of in billions of years where our technology will be. Even at the slow pace of currently envisioned interstellar travel, the Milky Way galaxy could be completely traversed in a few million years. So we're talking billions of years difference. So like, let's take one of those billions. Okay. So just to give you an example of the seemingly vast difference between a million, a billion, and a trillion. Does everybody really understand the vast difference in numbers? So like, I'll give you an example. If you were to translate in like a million, like you're talking about millions and billions, and we talk about miles and dollars and things like that. Here's the difference. If you were to take a million, we'll put it into seconds of a minute. Okay. Mm-hmm. A million seconds is somewhere around the neighborhood of 11 years. Okay, that's a million seconds. A billion seconds is somewhere around 35 years. Okay, no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. A million seconds is like 11 days. Okay, a billion seconds is like 35 years, and a trillion seconds is like 3,000 years.
Damn.
Okay.
Thanks for dumbing that down for us.
So,
I need it.
Me too.
I could probably post like the exact. Somebody will do the math, and we can post the exact characteristics online. But it really like it drives home like you're talking billions of years. There's suns that are They're projecting our sun to burn out in billions of years. There's suns that are billions of years older than our sun that could have intelligent life, planets on them.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that technology couldn't exist. And if it does exist, how come we haven't been contacted by it? And if we have been contacted by it, why haven't we been told about it?
Well, I mean, I know
there's no solid evidence that we have.
There's none, but I mean, I remember as a kid, my dad would tell me, like, on the beach, you see how many grains of sand there is on the beach? I'm like, yeah. That's how many planets are out there in the universe. Think about it. I'm like, shit, that's a lot of fucking planets. Yeah. And for them not to develop any bacteria, mold, anything that can grow, like anything.
Let's skip that and let's just jump to intelligent life.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, over the years, if we're going, evolution, Darwin, like, if you have fucking bacteria And if we're billions and billions and billions of years old, that's just going to develop into some sort of fucking, octopuses walking on the fucking, on Earth,
Which octopuses are one of the most...
It's fucking crazy, I know.
the weirdest. I was reading this whole big thing about octopuses, octopi, the other day.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. But I mean, it's hard to believe that
their
we're
DNA
the only...
doesn't match or compare to any other species or anything on our planet.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, they basically
they are the hybrids.
They basically could be aliens. We don't know. They've been around for so long that we have not found fossil records without them. So it's really hard to say how long they've.
Damn, no shit.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's so many, crazy things out there. It's hard to believe that we're the only fucking smartest fucking race or, civilization in this whole universe. It really is, you know. Why are we covering up? There's numerous reasons. Maybe that what if Roswell
can't handle the truth?
We'll go back to the old Paranormal episode.
Yeah.
And Rob was there, I believe. We were talking about how
which Paranormal?
How we had all this technology.
Damn, excuse me.
X amount of years for so long, and then when Roswell hit, we're able to develop 4K video now. So what I'm trying to say is that what if Roswell was the only crash landing, and we harvested that fucking technology that we don't want the world to build a particle fucking laser. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that want to have this technology for weaponry.
Speaking of that podcast,
thank Tesla.
Thank Tesla for silencing us on that one. But speaking of that podcast, I did finally watch most of the Tom DeLonge Joe Rogan interview.
He's off the wall, isn't he?
That guy right
He
there.
said most. He said most.
I had to turn it off, man. That guy's fucking crazy. He's
I appreciate what he's doing, though.
Okay, well, here's basically what I took away from that. Basically, what Tom DeLonge is alluding to, just to put it in layman's terms, is yes, there was an alien crash. Yes, their aliens exist. Yes, we've been taking their technology. They've been helping us with it. They need to be able to figure out some way to tell the American public about it or the world public about it. But there's no way to just tonight at 9, let's tell you about all the aliens that exist and for how long. You know what I mean? They never. Basically, what he's getting at is that they never meant to lie to us. It was never their intention. They just didn't know how to tell us without causing a panic in the streets. So basically, what he's saying is well, I've got this media production company, and what we're going to do is we're basically all the technology that really exists and all these things that have already been figured out by aliens, like they know how to make, maglev ships and things like that, and all these technology that is seemingly impossible at this point. Basically, what he's like, I'm consulting with the U.S. government to leak all this information into movies and TV shows,
right?
So that when we do when we can't hide it any longer and show you that yes, aliens exist and this is the technology that they have, it doesn't seem like a lie.
Right.
Like it seems logical at that point, and it won't be such a
hitting with the facts
transition.
Yes. Very subtly.
A smooth transition.
Is that hard to believe though?
Is it hard to believe?
What he's trying to do?
No, I think it's smart.
It's smart as fuck.
I do think it.
Look at the way you dumb down the fucking time travel. I mean, the millions and trillions. How you dumbed that down for us? I'm like, oh fuck, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
well, that's pretty much what he's doing.
Well, he's doing it on a much,
I forgot what he said too.
Rob goes, "Don't compare me to him."
I mean, Tom DeLonge is crazy. I mean, he's fucking.
You remember what Tom DeLonge said on that podcast? He said, I think Joe's like, so when is disclosure? It's like, no, it's not disclosure. He called it something else.
Yeah, I forgot what he called it.
I thought that sounded pretty cool. Or just because based on what he was trying to achieve and tell people.
I wish that he would say. I wish that he could come out and just say what he wants to say.
Because he kept saying I can't talk about that.
I
can't talk about it.
I believe the
Kind of
fifth.
goes on and on and on.
There's a lot. I'll take another one too, Rob, please. There's a lot of threats. I mean, think about it. What if his whole livelihood's at jeopardy? I was
That's true.
And people were getting pissed off in the comments too, saying like, "Why the fuck are you even on here then? What's
If you
what's
can't
the point?"
disclose
But
anything,
he still made his points. He still made his points. I'm here. I'm out. Sorry, Jacob.
That's the whole
later,
thing.
Later this year, they're going to unveil something, right?
I'm announcing
Sure.
that I'm walking out.
Like
of the
a
room.
tech. Oh, go ahead.
No, like for instance, Jim R's. Now I'm glad Rob's walking out because he don't have to rebuttal with his bullshit.
Rob, take 5.
Rob takes 5.
No, I was saying like Jim R's. Man.
What are you saying?
The guy's the guy's a legend. To ufology, paranormal activity.
I got to meet him
guy,
drunk, very,
Hey,
very
fuck
drunk.
you! I don't care if you met him or not because I didn't get to meet him. Selfish bastard. But no, the guy. I was listening to an interview that he was being conducted, and he mentioned about this. Us. Oh man, he was going way off the wire with 9/11 being a conspiracy, which I know where he's coming from to certain aspects, but talking about how the World Trade Centers was being shot down by actual particle beams that was developed by the government because of alien technology in Brookhaven on Long Island. Brookhaven's a laboratory on Long Island, pretty much. So he spoke to scientists, interviewed scientists, and they said that they're conducting this particle beam that will actually vaporize everything. So they shot it at night at the World Trade Centers that disintegrate all the beams and this. But I'm not getting into that. What I'm getting into is they developed this particle beam to shoot down UFOs, and these UFOs was shot down in '92 in South Haven, in the South Haven Park. So he got all these articles. He was strictly a reporter in the beginning of his career. He got all these articles from another source who he died. He's already gone. He died. He got this article about this UFO that was in South Haven that was shot down. So he was in the area at that time, and he went to that park. He told this lady that was driving him, "Hey, let's go to this park. It says South Haven Park. Let's go to this park." He goes to the park, and before we start driving around this park to see if there's any residue of fire that happened back in a couple years ago, let's just talk to this park ranger. There's a park ranger there, and
Park ranger.
Yeah, the park ranger was talking about like, hey, I'm a reporter. Jim Mars meets him, and like, I'm a reporter from Texas, and I don't want to say there was a fire here a couple of years ago, wasn't there? And like, the park ranger says, you must be talking about this UFO, huh? And like, well, I mean, yeah, since I'm here, you want to talk about the UFO? Like, honestly, I wish I could tell you, sir, but I cannot. They threatened me. They threatened my pension.
Damn, just like Dave.
Yeah, they threatened my livelihood. They threatened my pension. I cannot talk about anything about that event that happened.
Holy shit!
You don't fuck with the man's pension.
So come on, the guy,
pension. God damn it!
You work so hard for so long, and then it's that quick for the government to take away your pension. Why would you disclose anything?
Yeah.
Why would you? I wouldn't.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, like I feel like if there's people out there that are rich enough that could substitute his pension, like be like, you know what? Because if somebody's rich enough and wants that information, they can say, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck your pension. Let them take it away. I'll pay it. Tell me the truth.
But you're Joe Schmo. You're Joe Schmo, and you're like, you know what? My pension's backed by the the organization I've been working with. I mean,
but if somebody wants the truth, it's out.
Is the juice worth the squeeze though? I mean, like, I don't know. Like,
if the rich guy
you can write
your,
you write me a check all day long, and I'm gonna take that check, and then I'll disclose whatever I need to. Then I go to the bank and cash that check, and that's what I'm fucked.
Well, you don't disclose till you cash the check, though.
Okay, maybe I can see what you're saying.
I mean, listen, man. Not everybody's that. I'm not trying to defend this guy, but I'm just trying to say is this what Jim Mars
is going off. Yeah,
I know what Jim Mars mentioned, and then the guy was like, you know what, my pension's at jeopardy. I don't want to disclose anything. I cannot talk to you about it. Okay, well, like, and then he's like, but before he was walking out, but there was a guy that worked with me. He doesn't work anymore. I could get him on the horn.
He don't need a pension.
And I can see if he wants to talk. He's like, yeah, you don't mind, call him. He calls him. Like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it.
Brah, I'm good.
He's like, yeah, he doesn't want to talk to you, man. That's it. Jim was like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. There's nothing you can do. But, I mean, listen, man. I mean, I can see where that could be hearsay and this and that, but Paul and I went through that. We talked about another podcast before how I acted as Jim Mars, trying to get some information on a UFO that was recorded on camera, shooting down the electricity from an FBI building because
in
someone
Dallas.
in Dallas, and someone was recording this area because they were breaking into the car, but they see this UFO over this FBI building that's across the freeway, shoots this beam and kills off the whole sector of electricity in that FBI building. I called that Cinemark Theater. Spoke to the manager. I told him, listen, I'm Jim. I portray as Jim Mars. Like, hey, I need to speak to the manager. I saw your video on YouTube, and I just wanted to, throw this little piece of yours in my future book that I'm writing about aliens or whatever. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And like, no, seriously, man, come on. I'm Jim Mars. I really want to get your information. Like, you're like, hold on 1 second. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm getting somewhere. He comes back on the phone, and I guess we wanted to talk, and I couldn't hold my composure. I was drunk at the time, and
that was real smart.
It was real smart, but
I'm calling you out. You missed something.
I missed something.
You're a great journalist.
He's like,
fuck. This got something here.
Give me your phone number, and I'll call you back.
Exactly. Yes.
And he called him back, and then that's when he did it. And then he's like, yeah, can I get your name? Yeah, Jim's a Jim. Maz, and then we just fucking laughed.
And we can laugh, and I blew my car, but I was telling Paul, like, fuck, dude, like, I don't want to be oblivious to everything. Like, what if something will happen?
Yeah.
And he was really trying to spew this shit at me.
Yeah,
I really fucked it up. But I'm like,
way to go,
Yeah.
Jake. Way to go,
I had
Jake.
the fish on the line right there, man.
You had the fish on the line.
That was a group effort.
Passed out.
Don't just blame
Premature
him.
ejaculated. That's what
I
happened.
had something to do with it too. Fuck you.
No, well, he could have got.
Don't just blame him.
He could have got so many answers.
He doesn't deserve
but
all the
that
credit.
night-
So basically, it was either comedy or the truth. Fuck the truth.
Comedy's good medicine, baby.
Yeah, comedy always wins out. So, I mean, let's go back to the possibility that let's talk about the Fermi paradox, and let's talk about why your fucking mom's boring.
I was trying to do a homer.
So.
That was a good one.
So what are like the reason? What are so if you think about the paradox, if the statistical probability exists that there is alien life out there, why don't we have solid proof for it yet? So what possibly explains the paradox? The biggest one is. What it's considered the rare earth paradox, where the circumstances that happen on this planet to produce life, to produce evolution, were unique and rare and happen only here. Mm-hmm. That's one of the theories of why the Fermi paradox exists.
He can take that theory and shove it up his fucking ass.
But question.
That it's called the rare earth hypothesis. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's one explanation for it. Is that extraterrestrial life is rare or non-existent.
Okay.
Another one is called the Great Filter hypothesis.
Uh-huh.
The Great Filter hypothesis states that
really?
It's basically in order for intelligent life to occur and create civilization, certain extremely low probability events called great filters need to occur. And that means essentially possible locations of intelligent life to those planets that basically, quote unquote, won the cosmic lottery, basically where these unlikely events did occur. So basically, like, it exists because it's such a low probability that civilizations will start from a life form that Earth is one of the few, and life doesn't get that far to do interstellar travel. One of the other ones is there are intelligent alien species, but they lack advanced technology. Okay. Another one is it's just in the nature of intelligent life to destroy itself.
Right.
Which I feel like our political climate in this world right now kind of backs up that part of the Fermi paradox.
Idiocracy.
Or the flip side of that, it's in the nature of intelligent life to destroy others.
There's others, yeah. it's in our nature to destroy ourselves.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to get at is, so it's like, okay, so extraterrestrial life. If we were to go to other planets, why would we go to other planets? To get resources, I would assume, because we're running out of our own resources, right? Now, what if, just throwing it out there, what if that there are hybrids already living within our society, and I can get the fucking peasants of Earth to mine everything, to get all the minerals that I seek, just get it out from the ground of Earth. Okay, and they're going to be our slave laborers, I guess you could say,
Are you
right?
trying to tell us that you're one of them?
No, man. God damn it. But I'm just trying to say, like, hey, you know what? They're doing the work for me. I'm here to harvest Earth, to gather all the resources and minerals, you know, besides...
That's another explanation of the Fermi paradox.
Is that what
They're
you're talking
here undetected.
Undetected, yeah. Okay.
Or another one is they're here unacknowledged.
That can
You know
be
what I mean?
very, very plausible. How the
There-
fuck will we know?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean
no.
that goes back to, I mean, there are aliens that, like, let's assume that there are aliens, and they have been. You know, one of the biggest theories is that Earth has not been contacted deliberately. Like, there's a specific reason why intelligent alien life out there in the galaxy or out there in the universe is well aware of Earth and is purposefully not contacting us.
I blame the slur rap music that's playing right now.
Ah,
Mumble rap?
Mumble rap. That's what I blame. No, but not, you're right,
yeah.
man. I
mean, there's so many different things.
unless we already been contacted, though. What if there's already like cahoots with
So
governments around the
that
world?
they saw
undetected
us.
or unacknowledged. They're-
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
they saw us and like, nah.
nah.
So that another explanation for the Fermi paradox states that of all the intelligent life that's out there, everyone is listening and no one's transmitting. Or we're not transmitting.
We're transmitting right now, baby. Come visit us.
Or we're not transmitting.
closed in.
Glasgow
Or
resident.
we're not transmitting or
We're closed
listening
in.
properly. You know what I mean? Like, we assume, like, that the universe. So we assume that the universe exists within our own relative understanding of the laws of physics as we have discovered them here on Earth.
That's why I do downs.
Yeah.
If anybody has watched any of videos on Carl Sagan and his explanation of two-dimensional versus three-dimensional versus four-dimensional space, it is very well possible that our universe exists in 4 dimensions. We can only perceive it in 3 dimensions, but whatever that 4th dimension is could be whatever, you know, all these alien sightings and things like that. It could be interdimensional beings.
Ultra missing 411.
You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, there's multiple explanations for things, and if somebody, there's a lot of people that are like, you're crazy thinking that, you know, outside of 3 dimensions, you know, that's crazy. But I mean, somebody who was living in a 2-dimensional world would think the same thing about a 3-dimensional world.
Exactly.
And we live in a 3-dimensional world.
Yeah.
So if the universe is 4-dimensional, maybe extraterrestrial life has evolved to live in
A fifth?
in a 4th dimension. I don't know about a 5th dimension, but I mean, specifically, like, if you take a 4th dimension. So, I mean, how would you perceive, if you can't perceive that 4th dimension, how would you perceive that? Like, what would it look like? I'll try to find the YouTube video of the way that Carl Sagan explains, you know, he explains it on a sheet of paper, and this is way back in the 70s. He explains it on a sheet of paper, 2 dimensions, basically, you know, a house with basically, like, if you were a child building a Lego house, imagine looking down on it and building, you know, 4 walls with a door that opened. And, you know, imagine that was your whole life and you existed in those 2 dimensions, you know, X and Y. And you existed and you could go in and out of your house and you could walk around. What would you see? How would you perceive the world around you? and that would be considered completely normal. On a 2-dimensional plane, you would only be able to see, for the sake of argument, however thick something was, to your around you. And if something 3-dimensional was to interrupt your world, basically, like if you were to stick like a beer can, in that house, what would that look like to you, being a 2-dimensional being, only being able to perceive 2 dimensions? Looking at a 3, you wouldn't be able to see the 3 dimensions of it. All you would be able to see is the 2 dimensions that interacted with the 2 dimensions that you can perceive. So if you're a 4-dimensional being, which is theoretically possible because it's not theoretically impossible. So anything that is not impossible has to be either possible or probable. So it's if you're a 4-dimensional being and you are interacting with 3-dimensional beings in 3-dimensional space, what would the 3-dimensional being, how would they perceive that? You know what I mean? Would you perceive that as possibly what we would explain as an alien craft?
Right.
An unexplained flying object? Because it's unexplained. We can't explain it. Because we live in a 3-dimensional world and there's no way for us to accurately describe that. Another throwback to that, another caveat to that is the way that the Bible describes what angels look like. Every account of an angel is different, and every account of it's basically. And if you go and read the Old Testament, New Testament Bible, you read and you see that people were describing things. Every angel was described differently.
Yeah.
So is every angel described differently because they're all different, or because nobody really knows what they're describing? I get y'all staring at me like y'all want another beer. I get it. I see it.
Dogs. So basically, if you're an actual 4th-dimensional being, you could probably distinguish what 3rd dimension and 2 dimension
Middle Light
could
and
be.
the Corona, please, because I'll take the Middle Light.
Yeah.
No, but
I'll take both too.
Think about it like this.
Cool.
No, I'm sorry. I was giving you a hard time, Paul.
No, I don't think anybody even heard.
I know.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. Go
I
ahead, say
forgot.
again.
I'm high.
What I'm trying to say is this: like, you ever talked to a guy with or somebody with a higher IQ than you?
I don't know. How would I know?
No.
Do they seem like
hold on.
Those sons of they boast about. I'm
no?
fucking
Don't they seem like
popping
an
them in the
asshole?
mouth.
Like Mark Zuckerberg. He seems like an asshole.
I bring you love.
That's that. There's a movie. What movie is this?
We're not veering track. We're not veering off track.
No. I'm quoting a movie.
Mojo.
Well, that's the problem with smart motherfuckers. Because that's the problem with smart motherfuckers. Because the dumb motherfuckers, they sound like crazy motherfuckers.
Yeah, I've heard you told me that.
I don't know. I forget what movie it's from.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that I've had conversations with people with higher IQs, engineers, and they seem like assholes, but they're not trying to be.
What about
assholes.
Rat Vega?
No, what I'm trying to say.
We said higher IQ.
I'll get to that eventually. So these people with higher IQs, they're assholes, man. But they don't mean to be assholes. Just that they lack social skills.
Well, okay,
that is
okay.
true.
So
that is true about this.
You're assuming they have a higher IQ or are more intelligent, not more informed. There's a difference between wisdom and intelligence.
No, I'm talking about like people that have
Rob laying down some knowledge.
I'm talking about these engineers that I've been in contact with, and like I talk to them, and like they all sound like assholes, but they don't mean to be assholes. They're just fucking. They just lack social skills. It's just like us, like
lacking social skills.
Like us trying to dumb it. Like we have normal IQs, I assume. Try to dumb it down for Raph.
Shut up.
No, but I'm like
yeah, I get
but
you,
when you get somebody that's like that doesn't have a higher IQ, they may think like they don't like if you have them type up a sentence and there's no punctuation, there's no fucking.
I get what you're saying.
They think that we're assholes because the way we're talking to them. So I'm trying to translate that to what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I mean, if you think of aliens or something or fourth dimensional beings, however you want to talk about it, I mean, you have to think about the fact that we live in a three-dimensional world and we can only perceive what we see as a three-dimensional world, and we can understand a three-dimensional world and we can understand a two-dimensional world. It's really hard for us to understand a fourth-dimensional world because that's just the way that, I mean, you really can't perceive something without being able to experience it in and of itself.
Right.
So,
yeah, you're right.
I mean, you have not only the possibility that fourth dimensional beings are aware of our existence, that they are trying to communicate with us, but we have no way to know how they are trying to communicate with us.
Because we don't know that
it's like listening to the radio, and it's like listening to a Tejano station.
That's fucked up.
That's perfect.
I mean, I'm giving you. I don't speak Spanish. You don't speak Spanish.
That's true.
It's like listening to a Tejano station,
I know what they're saying
and
about,
then, and you just made my point for me. Some people you just understand, and so like that's what I'm saying. Like there are some people out there that just understand, but
like
there's no
watch a 3D
explanation.
movie. Some people love the 3D shit, and me for one don't like the 3D movies.
I won't invite you to any more 3D movies.
I agree. Fuck 3D.
Fuck 3D.
I don't like.
I gotta
3D
wear
movies
glasses
either.
while I watch a movie.
But yeah,
I got my own.
Good shit.
I don't need
Rob.
anybody else's.
I gotta wear glasses when I watch a movie.
That's fucking sick, man. I mean, it's work.
Yeah, good point, Rob. I like that. Any more paranormal topics that we may discuss? No, fuck you.
I
guys.
got one.
Yeah. Go ahead. No, go
Today I did my research. Come on. I even came up with one.
Let's talk about
Well,
it.
it was just one that kind of stuck with me. I think I saw it like late night, like I ran into it
McPherson
like
tape?
on YouTube.
I'm not
we
fucking
talked.
going
I wanted
there.
to talk about the McPherson tape, but we talked about it already.
We talked many times.
Many
Yeah,
times
very
on
much.
other.
The McPherson tape is
That's the one
Fake.
about the family. Yeah.
the
It was
fake. Okay.
Yeah, the fake one. But anyhow,
Maybe.
it was like supposedly the first one was real, but the second one was fake or something. Anyhow, but another thing I wanted to talk about was
Whoa.
it was like the 10 what do you call it? 10 moments that are very disturbing or whatnot. But one of them was this guy. His name is Brian Schaefer, and he went disappearing.
Super generic name.
And the only footage they have of him is him walking into a bar but never leaving. And I'm talking about a bar that was like a second story.
Is he a time traveler?
I don't know about time traveler. I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't know.
To be honest, I've never really looked like too deep into it, but I remember reading about it. Not all the information, but like he walked into a bar and his friends can't account for him. They said the tape shows him never leaving the bar. There's like theories saying that he left out the back somehow without being noticed, and now he's living a new life. There's another one saying that he died because this is like so many theories about it, but it was just something that stuck with me. It's like there's just footage of him clearly like talking to a girl, walking into the bar, and just nothing after that.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
There was another story that I read that could be about time travel. And we talked about we had a podcast about time travel, and
you guys want to alter the fucking timeline? Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm still past. I'm pissed. Fucking my future.
Somebody needs to research this while I talk about it. But there was a guy who surfaced a few years ago, and he claimed that he was a time traveler, and I think it was in the 80s, possibly, or early 90s, and he had a lot of predictions of the future and stuff like that. and there's been a lot of stuff online that has debunked a lot of the things that he claimed were going to come true that never came true. And they're like, well, obviously he's not a legitimate time traveler.
Where did he surface from? Like
From the bottom of the sea.
From the future.
No.
From the bottom
Okay.
of the sea.
But claiming that he's a time traveler, when did he first get notoriety? Like
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
Who's hanging out at Taco Bell?
Was it on forums?
He was hanging out at
Yes.
fucking liquor
It's not
store.
John Teeter, is it?
The name's it may be.
There's you're archived on Above Top Secret all his posts and everything because he would come and talk about like claiming he's a time
Events,
traveler.
yeah.
And then not just that, but like
No.
he would disappear for a while, then come back.
Yeah,
And talk
yeah,
about
that sounds
more
right.
and predict and just, or whatever. He was just, but then after a while, it just completely disappeared. I don't know if he actually did a sign off.
Yeah,
or-
and people were like, well, some of his stuff wasn't real, or some, not all of his predictions came true, so it must be fake.
Yeah,
and
there
then
were
somebody was like, well, somebody could have been copycatting him, and nobody would ever know.
Well, somebody also pointed out, I think there's a lot of similarities to like a book. I forgot what book. And they cited the what's it called, like quotes or things from the book, and then from the archive stuff like that in those forums, and just a lot of similarities, and they call him out for that too. So, but eventually, yeah, he did disappear, and nobody knows what happened. I've seen pictures too where he had supposedly it was him bending a laser beam.
Oh, I remember you talking
yeah.
about that.
Seen that? And there's some weird looking device. I think he said that was like the part of the time machine or some shit. I don't know. But then he starts getting like talking about when he did predictions. He's talking about like districts, all this stuff. It's like that's 1984, and there's
It was around the time of when I graduated high school. I remember that.
Yeah, it was like late 90s, early 2000s, I think.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. I found it.
John Teeter.
He claimed to be an American military time traveler from the year 2036.
Yeah, does it have the logo or whatever, some shit like in like a company? Yeah, there we go.
The military insignia.
Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah.
That right there, I wanted to use something like that for the short film.
Oh, nice.
Well,
nice.
not just like that, but originally, but not no more. Not no more.
Okay.
So this. And this is another thing, like all these, there's, basically he describes the aftermath of nuclear war and devastation of numerous countries around the world, the breakup of the United States into 5 smaller sovereignties, and general destruction of the global environment and infrastructure. But I mean, he says he's from the year 2036. Let's be honest, that's like... what, 18 years from now? That's a pretty far stretch. That's going to happen in 18 years.
I don't know.
That was meant to be sarcastic. Nobody laughed at my joke.
Sorry, I just saw some Jacob sent me.
Are we texting across the table
No,
at each
we're-
other?
no, that was-
Include everybody in your conversation. You
Fuck
son of a-
that, man. We're doing side conversations.
I text them an alien face to
it's
freak them
gonna
out.
stay.
But no. I'm just still
But-
thinking about other topics.
I know. I'm fucking
People,
Paul-
people,
I wanted to
let's
do
get
that
it.
earlier.
Fuck you.
People,
I got-
that was all wrong.
No. People. Let's get
Shut
back to
the
the
fuck
subject
up.
here.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, I wanted to talk about David Paulides and about his books,
Who?
Missing 411.
Yeah, me too.
The link I sent you guys.
I did not have time to read
All right,
it.
I forgot.
I will listen to you, though.
Okay,
Go ahead.
all right.
It's
You're
very
a
fucking
wheelbarrows.
interesting.
You'll be okay.
I like
Something to
the
do with
story.
wheelbarrows. I heard this guy on Coast to Coast, named David Paulides, investigator for what's it called? Missing people in national parks. And he's got some books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
wanted
called
to
Missing
read that thing that you
411.
sent us.
Yeah, what I sent you was has a lot to do with, I don't know if it's exact stories from his book, but they're all very similar. Anyway, so basically, I forgot how he stumbled upon this, but he started investigating all these national parks where there's missing people, and all over the country, and he, in order like for these people to fall under like his criteria or like what he considered like part of his investigation for his missing people, like usually when these people go missing, they usually leave like pieces of clothing or usually their shoes and for some reason there are teeth in it.
In the shoes?
In their shoes, yeah.
Their teeth?
Yeah, it's fucking
all
weird.
Of their teeth or just some of their teeth?
Some of their teeth. It's fucking weird. Okay.
Ultra bear would
yeah.
Well, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, this isn't bullshit. Anyway, this guy, like, well, how he speaks, he's well versed. I like how he doesn't really jump into conclusions either. He's not like sounds like some psycho. Or people are asking,
that's the biggest problem with paranormal investigators.
Yeah,
they have an agenda. They're trying to make the story fit their own set of rules.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He's like, I don't know. Like people would ask him, like, what is it? I can't comment because I'm trying to figure out what it is myself. I don't want to say what I think it is because, well, I'd rather just find out, and keep investigating, see what's going on, get the bottom of this. So he's, with that being said, that seems like, to me, that just feels like he's a little more credible.
Yeah.
He's just careful with, like, how he explains himself and says things because, doesn't want to come off as like a fucking, nut job.
So
yeah, no, I was going to give an example of the story.
Yeah, please.
Damn, hang on. Fucking getting dry.
You want some beer?
I have any water? God damn.
They got some water with hops and...
No, I can't.
Better chase that water with your beer.
There's a 5-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon in here. Somebody needs to drink.
I'll take a
You've got a fucking Corona sitting here.
Where? You tell me where's a... Oh, there is a full Corona. Thank you, sir.
I take Corona.
Yeah, you can have the Corona. Give me a pack. Yeah, okay, I'm listening to you, Paul.
Okay.
Everybody's telling you to fuck off.
Yeah. Okay, well, one story, like...
though. I really love this.
You drink that.
There's
PBR.
these missing people go from like pretty much like almost like infants to like like people like very old in age, like it's a whole wide range. So this, I believe it was I don't know when this happened because it ranges like stories from like the mid 1800s till present. There's a lot.
Yeah.
So like this one I think was maybe, I don't know, like maybe within 20 or 30 years. This guy and his I think 3-year-old little boy, they I forgot which park they go. They go, just kind of just exploring and just just seeing what's going on in the park and seeing what it looks like.
And these are all national parks, right?
Yeah,
state parks or national parks or
yeah. From what I know, and but there's also like he's also investigated like stuff, not even just in North America. Now he's moved on to other countries and other areas, not just parks, but like sometimes rural areas. And he's now finding that even in a city, this is happening. Meeting under, like I said, that criteria and the circumstances of what happens.
Okay.
But anyway, like I said, this kid, I forgot. Like I said, I don't know which park is. I think he was like 3 years old, and his dad was there, obviously, and they were. I don't know. There's like a forest in a distance, and where they're at is like maybe some grass that's like, I don't know, about knee high at the most. And his dad looks like over like behind him for some reason, and then like just as soon as he turns back around, his kid's gone. Like his kid was right there, right next to him, and he's looking for him and calling his name, and they can't find him. And eventually, he gets the official to help him to do a search party. And they found him. I don't think the kid made it. They eventually found him like 4 miles away from where he initially was at, where he disappeared. And the terrain, the weather, and where exactly they found his body was like the accessibility is very difficult. And this kid had no bite marks, no what's it called? Like I think he had his clothes. I don't know if he had his clothes on or not, because like sometimes they have clothes missing, sometimes they they have them on. It's fucking weird. But the autopsy came up to he just died by exposure, and they can't. The park rangers and everybody, they're baffled. They don't understand how. And like I forgot how much time too.
Yeah, like he was outside and he died like just.
Natural,
like being outside.
Yeah, just exposure. Yeah, just from from
natural nature.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very young kid.
Okay.
So, what's it called? Yeah, but they couldn't explain how he got there, and especially the amount of time too. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And no, like I said, it didn't look like a bear took him up there or some kind of animal. No, nothing like that at all. So that's one story. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Huh.
Another one, there was another like 4 or 5 year old kid, he what's it called? I think he was at camp with some family or some shit, and he fucking disappears. Just similar circumstances like the one I told you before. And eventually they did find him. I don't know how long, maybe a couple of days. And the kid, they actually interviewed the kid, and the kid was saying that he was like in some kind of cold, dark room, and these human-like robots were there, and one of them said that it was his grandmother, but you could tell it wasn't, something was off. So he was saying it was like a human-like robot. It was asking like to defecate on a like to get a stool sample, and he said he didn't want to. Whatever he said, it got angry, and then eventually it just let him go or some shit. I don't know. It sounds fucking crazy. It's a fucking kid, but that was actually one of the weirdest ones I've like heard on there. But for the most part, like I said, some of them like they leave fucking like pieces of clothing or fucking shoes with teeth in it. And
that's all they ever find?
Either that or sometimes they do find bodies, but for the most part, they never recovered or hardly any trace of them. But I mean, I'm kind of paraphrasing it because I forgot there's a lot of shit and a lot of variables he adds. Like when he,
thanks for doing your research.
I know, I thought I did.
Asshole.
It's a lot of work. But have you seen that one video?
You fucking 12-year-old girls passing notes while we're doing a podcast. You faggots. Go ahead, Paul.
Okay, that's said. Have you seen this video, like this girl in a hotel acting weird on an elevator?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
We're in her body. They made a movie about like this. She's on the elevator and
That's
like then she
stupid.
disappears, right?
Well, no, okay.
Or is this a different story?
This really did happen though. Like I seen the footage. It's fucked up. Like somewhere, I think in California. This girl was on an elevator and she was acting strange, and they got caught her on camera. Her behavior is just fucking weird, and eventually, like,
her behavior.
like,
what is she doing?
well,
on the elevator?
I don't know. She's just blinking
masturbating,
weird.
like
No, she's
standing.
just the way she's standing, the way
Yeah,
she's
like
whatever she's
sitting in,
doing.
like, her corner.
She's just
It's
fucking
like not doing anything.
It's just no. I think it was more
Radical?
activity than that. Yeah, like one like extremely crazy, but it was odd. It was not fucking normal.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What-
she
what's
bet
the
you
name
she.
of her?
What is normal?
Okay, now you're just going off the.
What's her
Fuck,
name?
go ahead, go
What's her
ahead.
name?
I don't know the name. I don't just God.
I want to see this feed.
No. Go ahead. I'm listening.
So she,
You got me hook, line, and sinker, bro.
She
Keep going.
what's it called? Like, I guess she got off the camera, whatever news feed they had or video feed. She got out of it, and then for some reason, like the next day or two, something was wrong with the water. They go and inspect up what's it called on the roof of the building.
Yeah, she was in the water tower.
She was in a water tower.
They made a movie about that.
No,
Yeah.
but well, okay, we'll see. If Dave Politis is saying like.
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah,
Jennifer
Dave
Connelly,
Politis is saying the guy I was talking about with the missing people, like this is part, like this falls under like one of the things too, and like as far as like what meets his requirements in his investigation, but how she got in it.
Yeah, they said they
don't know
have
how
no
to
evidence
fucking
of how
clue.
she got in there.
There's
like
no
they,
way she could have climbed up.
There's no way,
Yeah,
like
and
there's
got in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no fucking way, and it's just what the fuck? How do you explain that shit?
so this is my
That's it.
And
this is my personal theory. There's a lot of paranormal things that people talk about in this world that they experience and things. Like stuff like that being one of them. They make horror movies about ghosts and aliens and spirits, and they have all kinds of things like that. My personal theory is that all of these things are the same thing. That you're talking about fourth dimensional beings and their interaction with the three-dimensional world and how we perceive them. They come across as ghosts. They come across as aliens. They come across as odd time movements. They come across as unexplainable events. Things like that. You can't. There's no way to rectify all the. There's no way to balance the equation.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you learn in physics and chemistry and stuff about balancing the equation. Equal has to equal equal. You know what I mean? Both sides of the equal sign have to be the same for the equation to balance. and there's no way, and that's why nobody looks at them with a second thought, is because both sides of the equal sign don't balance. So you have, you have all these things that we can't explain, and we try to explain an unexplainable situation. A three-dimensional being trying to explain the interactions of a fourth-dimensional being with us. Now, whether we perceive that fourth-dimensional being as is that fourth-dimensional being, and the way, is it one fourth-dimensional being? Is it multiple fourth-dimensional beings? Is it a whole race of fourth-dimensional beings? We don't know. We really don't. We really don't know. Is it? Can that explain? Is the fourth dimension heaven? Is it God in general? Is that the fourth dimension and the way that it interacts with us, and that's how we perceive it? Is time travel and the perception of time travel and things like that, the interactions of what would be considered, an extraterrestrial, the way that they, the way we perceive, or how we would perceive a fourth dimensional being, because all these things are unexplained. We can't explain them because there's no way for us to quantify an explanation of how they interact with us, because we can only perceive things in 3 dimensions, but they exist in 4 dimensions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say that those stories too. There's more that we're talking about, like with kids too. The same thing. They think it's 4th dimension beings, because like how else? Like there's one where I don't know. He disappeared for like a half a day. Like this kid went out on his own, like fishing, and he sees some like other guy like asking him like, "Hey, can you, or do you need some help?" or blah blah blah. It's like, "No, I'm alright," or blah blah blah. So he invites him back to his house to his family. And he goes by there, and or he goes with them, and he's, he recognizes like some other neighbor of his, and he's in, with these other strangers. This other strange man lets him hang with his family and whatnot. So he ends up staying the night, and the next morning he's like, "Yeah, I better get going, and my parents are probably going to be worried about me." So he guides him like to these woods and tells him like, if you go this way, or blah blah blah, you'll head, you'll get back to where you're at.
Right.
And as soon as he told him that, like he turned I guess he looked one direction, and the kid turned around, the guy was gone, and the environment slightly changed.
Wait, the weather changed?
Not the weather, but like I think it wasn't as the forest or some shit like that. There was forest and there wasn't. It was a drastic change. And the guy was gone, the environment changed, and then he eventually found the search party and his parents and the neighbor that was there that he said he recognized that was there at that random guy's family's house.
Right.
And he starts telling him, like, "I was with this family at this house, blah blah blah, and you were there." He's like, "What are you talking about? I'm been here with your parents trying to find you." And so they tell the kids like that house doesn't exist. That everything's describing and everything, just it doesn't fucking exist. Jesus Christ, you fucking drunks.
Go on. I'm listening.
But basically, getting to like, he's dead. He entered the 4th dimension, or the 4th dimension being
unperceivable, an unperceivable way to experience.
And that would kind of explain like the ones where I told you like the kids just disappear like that, and they go to these random areas where it's hard to get access to.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah,
are we agreeing that the 4th dimension is like alien? That's it.
I'm not agreeing to anything. I'm saying that is one possibility.
Yeah. Possibility. Okay.
I think that it is a way to quantify without explanation aliens, ghosts, spirits, demons, paranormal, heaven, hell, all of that stuff to quantify and all of that stuff into one simple wrapped up explanation.
That makes sense. I got you.
And
by the possibility, there's no fourth dimension, right?
Yeah, there's 100%. Well, not 100%, but there's a great possibility that we're all just part of a dream of an autistic kid looking at the fucking snow globe.
I always thought
You know
about.
what I mean?
Hold on.
I always thought about like, what if this universe was just lint in someone's pocket?
Cool.
Like, what if it was just lint in someone's pocket, and it's like the time that we're going is like super, super, super slow to the lint of the shit that's in this pocket. No?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would basically be you're talking a 3-dimensional being versus a 4th-dimensional being.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
So I and this
Okay,
guy over here, yeah, we haven't been able to do what you guys did earlier, and I'm jealous.
What's that?
I want an opportunity. I want
Want a beer?
opportunity.
Want a
No.
beer?
I don't know.
You want a shotgun of beer?
I
That'll
want to be
calm the nerves.
facetious and morbid like you guys.
Oh,
You guys got to do it earlier organically.
That's another segment.
Yeah, but you do that all the time, even
man,
when we're
fuck.
not on air.
What's your
Yeah, but-
guys' take? Since I'm gonna ship topics here because we still got. A little
What's
bit of
my
time,
take?
right?
What was that?
On the Phoenix lights that happened in
Oh.
Arizona in
the
1997. Because if anybody can argue that there's no extraterrestrial life, that's fine. I'm open ears, baby. But the governor in 1997 in Arizona, there was some Phoenix lights that was a whole bunch of lights that was passing by a mountain. The governor claimed that it was a hoax and there was weather balloons, and he mocked the fact that people were thinking it was extraterrestrials.
But then he came out later after
Then
he was out of
came out
office
10 years later
and said that something did happen.
No, he came out 10 years later saying that he believes it was extraterrestrial. The fact that
who told him that it wasn't? And is he still alive?
He's still alive.
Well, then he's crazy. Because if there was a government conspiracy covering up aliens, and he said that there was aliens, even after he was out of the government, he'd be dead. Don't you watch the X-Files?
No,
no, he mocked it though. Okay, look, listen.
I wanted to interject, but
Did
you just
Mulder
said that.
teach you anything?
Yeah, you said that. That kind of clears it up.
Don't you follow Mulder and Scully? I mean, that's a documentary, right?
I don't mean to piggyback on your thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
But with the simple fact that like people could say,
It's like cops for aliens.
yeah, that like even if they know the information, who the fuck is gonna believe you anyway?
No,
That's
And
exactly the
exactly,
point.
yeah.
That's why you start.
It's hard,
That's what Tom DeLonge is
That's why the
talking about.
government-
That's
they
why
won't
they
take
keep
you out.
talking about like.
They don't care.
They're going to keep putting this shit in the media, and true news stories that are actually happening, they're going to start making into TV and movie shows and stuff like that. So you're like, oh, hey, look at this. So that when you're like, they made it doesn't seem so far fetched anymore. Think about if they made no alien movies, they made no mention of aliens ever in any kind of pop culture movie, TV shows. And I realize that I said TV and movie shows earlier. I've had some beers. But if they never made one alien movie, one movie with extraterrestrials, never mentioned any of that, how crazy it would be if an extraterrestrial just showed up in the middle of a fucking cornfield in Iowa tonight and was like with his dick hanging out, fucking raping cows.
So what are we saying?
Dr. Manhattan.
Now, on that, with the fucking Dr. Manhattan dick running around. But on the flip side of that, if tonight CNN was in a fucking cornfield and there was a fucking alien spacecraft.
No, it's got to be Antoine and Little York. They got to land in.
But what I'm saying is, if an alien craft landed tonight, how many people in this world do you think would think it was a hoax? And how many people would just? But how many people would think? Finally, the truth is out.
Us probably would think,
and that's exactly what I think that Tom DeLonge is talking about on his Joe Rogan podcast. He's making that blow just a little bit softer. You know what I mean? It's like a boxer. Jab him with the left, jab him with the left, jab him with the left. And when he hits you with that right, he's been hitting you with that left all the time. And that right doesn't really hurt that bad.
Well, it's not that much of a surprise.
Exactly.
So are we saying that the governor in Arizona is full of shit? Is that what we're saying?
I'm saying that I don't believe that I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what to believe or what not to believe.
Of course. But what I'm trying to say is the fact that when somebody goes out and makes a hoax and mockery of the event and pretty much tells everybody in the same state that he's controlling, because he's the governor, that you're full of shit. I'm gonna make fun of you. And
Are
then
you
10 years
talking
later-
about who's the governor? You're not talking about that sheriff. You're not talking about Joe Arpaio.
No,
I'm talking about Governor Five something. He was
okay.
the
You're not talking about the guy.
This
You're
is
not
1997.
1997.
You're not talking about Sheriff Joe,
No,
the guy who makes like the convicts dressed in pink and shit.
no.
Oh no.
No. So this guy, the governor, got five something. He was a governor in Arizona during 1997 when there was the crazy lights.
Say that one more time.
In 1997, he was the governor.
1997. Okay.
Right. All right. And
Are you helping him pronounce?
I don't know.
I was having him.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
That's what it
I'm
looked
trying to
like from
explain
my-
something.
The lights in Arizona. Go ahead.
So-
I'm sorry. I was making fun of the way you said
way I was trying to-
1997.
No. I was doing a whole
He's
bunch of
1999,
Man.
my nigga. Think about back in the day when we
Oh, Rob, getting jealous. Got your
So the few that are listening
Both thugs.
still.
Yes, 97. Go back.
97, Arizona lights.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? With it?
Shut the fuck up.
We have like 20 beers here. 20
All right,
beers.
go ahead.
Oh god, cheers to
No.
that.
So the next
Cheers to
day, he
that.
comes out with an actual alien fucking
cheers to that.
costume. And he mocks the citizens that believe that it was fucking extraterrestrials.
Yeah. Fuck
He
that.
mocks them in front of a press conference, a news crew.
Oh,
with an
boy.
alien.
We
He
really...
walks
I think
out.
it was something like that.
He walks
He
out
should've fucking-
with, and then he escorts a alien costume. Like, look, we got him.
Yeah.
We fucking got him.
Do you remember that show Alien Autopsy? Where
Yeah.
they dissect the alien on TV?
I quit.
Yeah.
I quit this podcast. Fuck you guys.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah,
I do know what you're talking
That
about.
was fake footage.
Tasty
by the
of
way.
medicine,
I realize it,
boys.
That's fake as fuck.
But this is
It scared the
hold
shit
on,
out of me. It
hold
scared
on,
the
hold
shit
on.
out of me.
But this
All
is
right, Marty.
this is what I'm. This is part of my theory, though.
Calm down, Marty.
Like, how much did that just? But everybody knows that it was fake footage. Like, obviously, it was fake footage.
What was? Oh, the alien.
The alien autopsy. You know what I mean?
scared the
I
shit out of
believed it.
But
I
Scared
did
the
too.
shit out of me.
because
I
it was
did
on
too.
because it was on
I did
Fox.
too.
Yeah.
I did too.
But what if it was
I was
just
scared as
conditioning
fuck.
to let you know? You know, yeah, the aliens are there. Like, what if it was real?
What if it was? No, I
Yeah.
agree.
What if it
Wow.
was real?
You just don't know.
and it's just conditioning to just be like, just
they're
little
gonna
bits,
think it's
little
fake
bits,
anyways.
little
They're
bits,
gonna think it's
little
fake.
bits, so that when the truth does hit,
But that was
and
back
you
in
wake up with that
1999
alien
though.
dick in your ass, and you're like, oh, I guess, I've been expecting this.
How does that happen?
I guess I'm not gonna fight it.
How does that happen? Late night, you're watching TV, alien autopsy.
You know how that happens? 11 beers in a country road. That's how that happens.
And then the next day, that night, you wake up to a fucking alien just raping you, going, "Fuck yeah!"
It sounds like Mark
yeah.
Wood.
Did you just make a Mark Wood
Yes.
reference?
Yes.
Fuck
Aliens and
Y'all have been
Mark
waiting. You've been biding your time for a fucking Mark Woods reference. Both
Don't
of y'all
buy
Wood.
motherfuckers.
And then,
Hey,
and then
no.
you're like this. You're like, "Well,
You just
aliens are real."
you just made our podcast lose all
Yeah.
credibility. Just right there.
Yeah. No, but guys, like when Mark Wood's fucking a chick, he's like, oh, fuck yeah, bro.
No, but for real. Okay,
Yeah, he
Who's,
said-
who's Mark Woods?
Mark Wood, he says that the chicks, fuck yeah, bro.
he's
When he's fucking her.
he's a male.
He's a male porn star, yeah.
male porn star.
I mean,
Anyhow,
we like
How-
the
okay,
only time,
okay,
like,
Why don't you explain
This
to
stuff-
our listening audience how
Okay,
you
real
know the
quick.
names of our
okay, real
of
quick,
male porn
but
stars?
it's like we were looking it up the other day.
Why?
And because we just want to hear Mark Wood moaning because we want to laugh, and like this is the only time you
'Cause
ever
you
hear us
wanna
because
laugh.
it's like hey, I want to hear the guy this time, not the girl. That's the
Yeah,
only time
okay,
I'll say
we-
it from
we-
Mark
This
Wood.
This is
Remember that,
uber
Jacob?
telling
Remember that,
right
remember
here.
that.
we come across this guy only because of the fact.
Let me know
that-
when it's okay for me to go back to the governor of Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
I was listening. I was starting to think these fuckers.
I'm just gonna talk about
Whatever, bro. You've been waiting for that
wa-
Mark Wood reference
That's
for
bullshit.
fucking hours.
I actually been waiting for
That's
it because
bullshit.
you mentioned fucking alien. Just you know. You waking up to fucking
Man, he's
alien dick
serious.
in your
He's
ass.
gone. He's leaving.
Fucking, Jake's like,
Jacob's
Jake
fucking
quit the
nice.
podcast.
I
He's
know,
like,
get
fuck
outta
you
here.
guys, I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Let her raise the
All right,
raise
yeah.
the nation.
I guess he wanted to fucking go talk to the governor of Arizona. Fuck.
He just Ubered his way. He Ubered his way to the governor of Arizona.
No, that's our code
I'm
name for
taking-
taking a piss now. Oh, I gotta go talk to the governor of Arizona.
That's our code.
That's our I gotta go take a piss code. Oh, I'm going to talk to the governor of Arizona.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Quickly, while Jacob's gone, Mark Wood is a male
Let
porn
Paul
star
talk about his favorite porn
from like
star.
the
a male.
2000 to like maybe now still, and he's at least for me, I know this. Like I just see him like. What's it called? If I see his name tagged on a video, I'm kind of weary. And after a while, I was like, if I just see his name, period, I just don't, because he just moans like sometimes too loud and just over to women. But eventually, it's like I kind of found it funny. It's like, and just the way he moans and just kind of makes weird noises. And I can't blame the guy. It's like he said on a forum, like people. There was a post. Like I forgot what. Maybe,
Are you
I don't know if it was on
porn
Reddit.
forums?
No, I think it was on Reddit because I just googled like Mark Wood.
Why would you
moans,
Google
like,
Mark
annoying.
Wood?
I said,
I'm gonna
Mark
make this really
Wood.
weird.
Mark Wood moans annoying. I was just curious to see if anybody else thought the same
Does that
thing.
detract from your porn watching?
And there was a fucking forum. I forgot what
Googled
website.
it.
Somebody
There
made a
was
whole forum.
Not a forum, but there's a thread on a forum. I'm sorry, a thread on a forum talking about it, and it was like a long. A lot of people were saying like all these things and whatever. And Mark Wood himself actually fucking commented on it, and
Verified.
just like and I don't blame him, and he's right. It's like well, I'm fucking these hot ass chicks at the end of the day, and like I'm just like, what the fuck would you be making when if you're making fucking these hot ass chicks?
Now-
I would be making fucked up noises too, probably. But
Now-
on him, I don't know. I'm not sure about that as
Now,
him.
I
though.
will confirm this. because Mark Wood is correct.
How are we talking about Mark Wood?
Why are we talking about male porn stars?
because he was
this is-
taking a piss break when he get back to the governor of
I
fucking
made the joke.
Arizona.
I made
Thank
the
you, Paul.
joke about
Thank you.
Mark Wood.
I love you.
I made
don't-
the
no,
joke. I made the joke
I
about
do
Mark
too.
Wood.
Oh my god!
I
I
made
don't
the
want to
joke
talk about
about
male
Mark
porn
Wood.
stars
Anyhow,
anymore.
no. I will
yeah,
confirm this.
bro.
I will confirm this. I will confirm this. Now listen, I will confirm this.
We have an
because
incoming
You
guest.
said this like 15 fucking times.
Interception.
Go ahead and
Yes.
confirm
Yeah.
it.
When I fucked busted ass shoes,
Yes, I remember that.
yeah, you remember busted ass shoes?
Yes.
She was fucking hot as fuck. When I was fucking her, I was going, fuck yeah, oh god, oh yeah, oh god. I was like thinking to myself, I was like, and she even told me too. It's like, why do you keep saying that? Shut up. I was like,
You sound like Mark Wood.
I was like, wait, you're right. I need to quit fucking making this seem like it's more than it is. I'm just fucking.
Straight to banging.
Yeah. I need to quit thinking.
I'm trying. I've got that. I've gotten that phrase. I'm starting to implement it into other places into my life. So I've taken that to
straight to
my work.
banging?
Yeah, I've taken that to the workplace. I've explained exactly what it means.
First date dinner?
Yeah, no first date dinners. Straight to banging.
Fold the newspaper.
By the way, speaking of straight to banging, the Golden State Warriors have beaten the Cavaliers
Yeah, I
in a
figured.
sweep.
It was like a slobber knocker.
Wait,
Yeah.
at their
they won
hometown,
today?
right?
Yeah.
They won
In
today?
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
It was like a
That's-
30-point deficit when I checked.
So
So what? They're official.
It's
then,
done.
right?
Yeah,
They won.
yeah. Golden State Warriors, GSW.
Rockets would have been the
Oh,
champions.
guess what?
so
Guess what?
if they had
LeBron's
missed
coming?
27
No.
free throws,
No.
in a
LeBron's
row.
coming, right?
Well, know that.
I'm gonna throw.
Not only
Jacob,
if we
LeBron's
had-
not coming over here?
Hold on.
No,
Before I
LeBron's
get to that,
fought.
we had
He lost.
to beat the Warriors and the refs in that game.
Yeah, I remember you guys are telling
We're
me about
0-5 versus those refs.
Yeah, those refs. Yeah, no,
No
0-7,
shit.
sir.
0-7. Sorry.
So, but we'll get to that
Against the
conspiracy later.
refs.
But yeah, LeBron might be coming to Houston. That'd be nice.
That's a theory.
He's gonna go to Golden State.
Nah, he ain't going to.
He's
No,
gonna,
he ain't going to
and
Golden
he's gonna
State,
and he's
bro.
gonna lock
He ain't
down
going
their
to Golden
championships
State.
for
He
3
said
more
he
years.
may go to
about
LA. He
Houston.
may go to LA.
That's a
but-
theory about
That's
Houston.
dumb.
That's a theory.
There's only 2 teams he'll go to: LA Lakers, because he has an entertainment company, or he'll come to fucking Houston. If he
I
wants to
disagree.
I highly
I read an
doubt it.
article that there were 7 or 9 teams. It was an odd number.
He's not going to
that
go
he
to
was
any
gonna
of
go
those.
to.
Dude, listen. If he's in Cleveland,
He's not going to Miami.
He looks at those Raptors. On those Raptors, he has. He went to the finals 1 year, 2 years. He won the championship on the 3rd year. He went to the finals the 4th year. He went to the finals the 5th year. Out of 5 times, he only won 1 fucking championship
with Cleveland, but he won 2 with Miami.
Who gives a fuck? Miami, he had a fucking all-star team. He had Dwayne Wade, and he also had Chris Bosh.
Who cares? Does that ring on his fucking finger cares?
I'm just saying.
Fuck
like,
yeah. Does that paycheck care?
In order for
does
you
that
to
big ass house care?
In order for you
Have
to
you
beat,
seen his fucked up ass toes?
In order for you
they care.
In order for you to be a superstar team like Golden State, you got to have a superstar team. That's it. Simple as that.
No, you don't. All you need is fucking Kevin
do.
Durant and Steph Curry and to fucking pay off the refs, and you're good.
Pay off the refs.
Well, yeah, I guess
Pay off the refs. That's pretty much it. You're done, son.
That's it.
So what's on your mind, Paul?
Sorry, Rockets. We got the refs on our side.
Governor Arizona.
Yeah,
the governor.
If you want to talk about the governor of Arizona, we can go back to it. But
We don't.
Okay. That's fine.
Man.
I feel like that's a whole man. We have been.
I thought I was the dick.
No, you're the balls. I'm the dick.
He's the shaft.
Damn! Look at that. Look how far Rob's
beat me
arm is
to it,
extending.
Like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Fuck.
Oh man.
Yeah, but the governor of Arizona, the next day he mocked the fucking residents of Arizona.
He mocked them with a fake alien costume, right?
Yes. And then 10 years later, he
Raph
stated,
is no longer allowed to bring fucking. I commended you at the beginning of this podcast for bringing pad and pen with notes, and then you proceeded to draw dicks. And people sucking dicks.
I didn't draw that.
Damn it, Raph.
I'm gonna give that credit to my associate.
How dare you, sir?
The only artist in the room.
Yeah,
How dare you?
the only tattoo artist in the room.
Never a tattoo
Oh,
artist. Never a tattoo artist, sir.
have you tattooed somebody before?
You got your cigarettes?
Myself.
Can I see your cigarettes?
That counts.
Not
Don't give him your cigarettes, Raph.
Can I see your cigarettes? Go on. Go. Don't be a fucking bitch.
You just threw my fucking notepad.
Your precious notepad.
You eat a dick.
And
Hey, is
find
this
one in the
podcast
toilet.
even a podcast anymore? Like, are we?
This is what Gentlemen No Class is all about.
Exactly,
That's all we
baby.
do.
This is Two-Pot.
Oh,
Tupac.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7,
I
8,
think we've had enough
9,
beers
10,
to
11,
finish
12,
this
13,
discussion
14,
for the
15,
night.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
You guys are
There's
so
25
up
beers
here.
on the
I need one
table.
more.
25 beers between 3 people because Paul has not drank
And
anything.
3 men and, 1 lady.
No, don't.
Fuck
That's
you.
not fair.
No, it is fair. Fuck
No, that's
that.
not fair.
No, fuck him.
You know.
What's mine is mine.
I mean, hold on. No.
How does that apply?
No. That's super fucked up. No, absolutely fuck him. But
Absolutely fuck him.
Paul has a specific reason he doesn't drink.
No,
that's fine.
fine.
That's fine. I respect that.
He's on
of
a
him.
cleanse.
There's
Absolutely.
other ways to fucking take in
Yeah, he
alcohol.
slams heroin.
There's
Fucking-
other ways of taking alcohol.
put
Are
an
we
IV
going to
in.
talking about butt chugging?
Put an IV
Are we
in,
going
man.
to talk about butt
Yeah,
chugging?
you gotta,
Stevie
you gotta
Nicks.
drink
I've got
it.
a funnel. I'm not going to hold it, but I'm just saying,
Straight to the fucking stomach, man.
straight to banging.
Oh god.
Straight to
Doesn't
I
banging.
can,
Doesn't
I
need to
can
be
dump, I
filtered
can
out by
dump
the
a bottle
liver.
of vodka up your butthole and you'll be so fucked up.
damn.
You'll never blow in a
Oh,
breathalyzer.
man. Gentlemen with no class, goddammit.
That's the no class part right
Yeah,
there.
that's disgusting.
25 beers in, the no class emerges.
Damn fucking drunks.
Hey, fuck it.
And with that,
I just
we have
fucking
been your
opened-
hosts for this
Yeah.
Gentlemen
Hey.
No
Fucking
Class
things are just
podcast.
there.
I'm pretty sure this is a 2-part. We haven't edited this down yet, and
Fuck that.
Jake has not edited this down yet, but this has definitely been Gentlemen No Class.
Do we do a 2-parter or do we do only 1 part? It's like,
Nah.
fuck it.
Well, fuck
I think we
it,
do
don't
2
want.
parts. And this is Gentleman No Class signing off.
Who fuck says
Cheers.
you're signing off? I ain't fucking doing
That's
that yet.
Jake. I'm
still
Rob.
sitting on the air.
That's Paul.
I'm still going.
That's
I have a lot
Raph.
to fucking say.
Nice,
That's
Rob.
fucking
That
bullshit.
governor
I think
there-
I said my own
fucking
name. I
got-
think I said my own
No,
name.
fuck y'all. We're
No.
signing off.
Governor
Fuck
of
that.
Arizona.
I'm not.
I'm Raph.
I'm
I'm
getting my
Jake.
fucking soapbox. I'm gonna finish this.
All right,
fucking
soapbox.
shit.
Just say your
I'm
name.
fucker.
That was Paul.
All right, it's fucking me.
It was
Yeah.
Paul.
All right.
Are you going to do the intro?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the intro. I got to do two of them. So
Okay, cool. How about this? Can we harmonize it?
Oh, we're not gonna harmonize
We
it.
should. No, wait a minute. Hold on.
Well, fuck.
Hold on, baby.
No, even better. You talk.
Holy fuck.
You talk, and we'll provide background music as
about-
Mark would.
No.
fuck
in the back.
No. I don't think we should do it, but I think we should harmonize something like the way you did that the Armada thing, but like on the part 2 segment or something like I don't know. What are you gonna say?
Oh, like in the other podcast when I was like, today on our show we're talking about it, and Paul in the background was like, and some cannolis.
But no, if we do that, but we all harmonize. Like we try to harmonize. You know?
What are we harmonizing?
Fucking great.
What are we saying?
I'm just thinking about it.
Oh my god!
But we try. And
We are way too drunk to this.
That's why it'd be great.
I think the better idea is just to let me do the fucking intros so that people can decide whether or not they want to
I
listen
thought
to
we
this.
harmonize like straight to banging.
And
I
then
get
we're
the
gonna
lows
go
like straight
How you
to
gonna do
bang, and you go straight to banging or something. You know?
Oh, you actually want to
I
sing
have
it?
a harmonizer plug-in on my fucking.
Fuck that. We need to do natural.
Yeah, drunks like straight to banging.
All right, ready? All right, everybody, quiet. I'm gonna do
How's the melody?
1, 2, 3, and then we'll do straight to bang. Okay. All right, ready?
You got the mids. You get the highs. I'm assuming.
I'll try.
Like, this is
Okay.
fucking,
Who's doing the lows?
I got the lows. I got a
Your
low.
baritone.
You gonna do the highs, or you want me to do the highs?
I don't know if I can do the fucking highs.
You do the mids.
How we do the ah?
I do the what?
I can't do it. I do it too loud.
All right, ready? All right, you ready? Here we go. I'm gonna count. I'm gonna count it in. Ready? 1, 2.
Oh shit!
Straight to bang.
Redo, fucking redo.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Straight to banging.
Wait, one more time. One more time. What's that?
Pull away from the mic
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
it gets it. All right, ready?
yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Straight to banging.